In the cold heart of East Berlin, behind gray walls and watchtowers, the Stasi, East Germany's secret police, controlled everything. They listened to phone calls, opened letters, and watched people day and night. But one operation, known only by its secret name Blue Star, was more mysterious than all the rest. It began in the spring of 1978. An informant reported strange activity in the western sector near Checkpoint Charlie. A man had been seen several times taking photos near the border. He was tall, always wore a blue scarf, and carried an old leather bag. No one knew who he was. The Stasi assumed he was a spy. Major Anke Vogel, one of the top female officers in the Stasi, was assigned to the case. Sharp-minded and calm, she had solved dozens of operations before. But something about Blue Star felt different. The man in the blue scarf didn't follow the usual patterns of Western agents. He never met with anyone. He never used a radio. He only appeared once or twice a week, walked the same street, took photos, and vanished. Vogel set up a surveillance team and gave the mission its code name, Operation Blue Star. Weeks passed. The man was difficult to track. The cameras installed near the border showed him clearly, but his face never matched any files. He didn't exist in any Western or Eastern intelligence database. Then something odd happened. One evening, as the sun set behind the wall, the man placed a single red rose at the base of a street lamp. He took no photos that day. He stood for a moment, touched the rose with his fingers, and left. The Stasi agents were puzzled. What did it mean? A signal? A message? Or a tribute? The next day, Vogel went to the street lamp herself. She found a small mark carved into the metal, a star, barely visible. Inside the star was a number, 51. She ordered a full investigation. The archives showed that the area had once been home to a Jewish family before the war. Apartment 51 had belonged to them. All had vanished in 1943. Taken by the Gestapo. No records remained after that. Vogel's instincts told her this wasn't espionage. This was something personal. She returned to the rose and the star several times, but the man did not appear again for weeks. Then, in early July, he returned. This time, he carried a small candle in his bag. He lit it, placed it next to the rose, and stood silently for 10 minutes. Vogel, watching from a nearby van, felt something strange. She ordered her team not to interfere. Later that night, she visited the archives again. After hours of searching, she found something unexpected. A report from 1943. A boy named Elias Morgenstern had escaped deportation and disappeared. He was 10 years old. His parents were taken. He was never found. A few days later, the man in the blue scarf was followed more closely. One agent managed to steal a clear photo of his face. When Vogel saw it, she froze. The man was old, perhaps in his 40s, but his eyes, they matched a child's photo from 1943. It was Elias. But that was impossible. No one knew how he had returned to East Berlin. West Berlin had no record of him. Interpol files were empty. It was as if he had lived in the shadows for decades, waiting to return to this one spot. Operation Blue Star continued, but now its purpose changed. Vogel never sent a report to her superiors. She classified the file as sensitive and restricted access. She gave orders that no one was to interfere with the man unless he crossed the border. Then came the final visit. It was autumn, 1979. The man came again, but this time with a small folded paper. He placed it near the rose, looked up at the gray sky, and whispered something before walking away. He never came back. When Vogel opened the paper, she found only a name, Anke Morgenstern, and a single sentence in Hebrew. She asked for a translation. It read, "For my sister, lost but not forgotten." No one in the Stasi ever saw the man again. The operation remained unsolved, archived under a meaningless title. The wall would eventually fall, but Blue Star stayed locked in the files of the forgotten. And still today, no one knows how Elias crossed the wall, or why he waited 35 years to leave a rose and a candle for someone who never came back.
Enjoyed the story? Support the channel. Buy me a coffee.